So a little while ago, I made this video.
Does anyone else miss when trans women would actually put effort into looking like women?
Or you could just shut the fuck up because you don't know what that trans woman is going through.
And it got a lot more traction than I thought it was going to, so I thought, well, why not do some more reactions to our friend Miss Kelly. Now, I promise this is not going to be a hate video. I'm genuinely coming at this to hopefully spread some better information and have counterpoints to what she says in her videos so that people can see a differing side and not just her point of view, which I think is super important. So let's get into it.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but transgender women cannot be lesbians. If you as a trans woman are invading lesbian spaces such as bars, dating apps, social events, you're not only a predator, you're a homophobic predator. Lesbians are interested in women, not trans women. And I'm sorry, you, a biological male, had the opportunity to live a normal life as a man and be with a woman. You have to understand that true transsexuals like myself are homosexual transsexuals. We transitioned because our gender dysphoria was so bad, we do anything to not be seen as feminine gay men. So a homosexual transsexual like myself transitioned because of internalized homophobia and being attracted to men as a male. On the flip side of that, we have what's called an autogynephilic transsexual. An autogynephilic transsexual is a male who is aroused by seeing himself as a female. I personally wouldn't consider that to be a trans person because to me, a trans person is someone living with gender dysphoria, not someone who has a fetish for seeing themselves as the opposite gender. In my eyes, homosexual, transsexual, trans women would never be interested in lesbians because we're true transsexuals dealing with gender dysphoria. An autogynephiliac trans woman who isn't really a trans woman, is just someone who has autogynephilia, is someone who is going after lesbians to fulfill their fetish. Homosexual, transsexual, trans women like myself are true transsexuals. We are valid in our identity as women. But autogynephiliac trans women are not trans women, in my opinion. They're just people who have autogynephilia. And I think when they use the trans community to go after lesbians, that's predatory behavior and it's not okay. And I think this is the perfect way to draw the line in the sand between who is a true transsexual and who's just someone that's a predator trying to take advantage of the community.
Oh my god. How, I don't think I've ever seen a trans person online actively hate trans people more. Oh my god, I feel bad for her. Oh my god, first of all, let's break it down. Trans women can be sexually attracted to whoever. There are trans women of all sexual orientation. Your gender and your sexuality are different. Oh my god, and her painting out trans women in lesbian spaces to be predatory, you're literally perpetuating right-wing bullshit talking points. How do you hate yourself so much? I don't get it. I don't understand. Just hearing her talk makes me so sad because she literally just said she only transitioned because of the internalized homophobia that she had and to not be a gay man. Holy shit. Oh my god. Am I just gonna end up feeling really bad for her? But also, I hate when trans meds have the whole argument of who really is or isn't trans or whatever. Literally the definition of trans is someone who doesn't identify with the gender that they were assigned at birth. And that's it. The reason why trans meds get so worked up about who or who isn't really trans or whatever is just because they want to essentially be bootlickers. But oh my god, I can't even process what she just said because literally this is the first time I saw that video and I'm like, wow, okay. Okay, so let's talk about this because I feel like it's something that does need to be understood a little bit better. So I've known multiple trans women who have gone on hormones and all of that kind of thing. And because you are cycling through the hormones, you can feel that PMS, that kind of thing. Obviously, you're not going to be bleeding and that kind of thing, but you're still having that emotional response, all of that kind of stuff. So the fact that when people are like, oh, like I'm on my, or trans women, when they're like, oh, I'm on my period or that kind of thing, or I'm PMSing, like, I get it. Like, you're hormonally going through it. Like, I don't get why it's so hard to understand. Like, that's what's happening when you're switching up your hormones. You're gonna have a response. Like, that's how that works. I don't get what's so hard to understand about that.
So, does anyone else miss when the trans community knew that
This is the
trans
one that I
women were
reacted to
trans
already.
women and not
This did
biological women?
before.
Like, I hate even using terms like cis or biological because, to be completely honest, if we as the trans community are going to ask people to respect our pronouns, our identities, who are we to be pushing labels onto other people like cis or even biological? Because I really feel like a lot of men and women just want to be called men and women. Trans
Yeah, but
women,
trans
I feel like
men
we
and
should
women wanna
learn
be called
to
men and
accept
women.
ourselves for who we are. And we're not biological women. We're not cis women. We're trans women. And I feel like the term cis is just kind of like a term we coined to kind of like cope with the fact that we are technically biological men. And I think we just need to learn to accept that reality, you know? There's no shame in admitting your biology. Like, say it with me. I am a man. I'm a man. It's okay to admit that your biology is your biology. And when you learn to accept that, you become so much happier.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I think I just feel so bad for her. Like, oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Oh wait, this wasn't the one that I reacted to before. That's the trans women looking and trying to pass like cis women. It's literally just a prefix. Trans is a prefix. Cis is a prefix. It literally was there before. Cis is not a slur. It's not anything bad. It's just a precursor. It's a prefix before woman. That's just what it is. Honestly, I feel like if you didn't want a distinction, then you shouldn't have the distinction of trans women or trans men either. It should just be men, women, and non-binary people, which, like, for me it is. But oh my god. Also, I really don't know why, like, cis people get so pressed about being called cis. Like, it's not a bad thing. I just don't get it. I fucking don't get it. I don't get why people get so pressed. Maybe someone can explain it to me. This is the one I reacted
does anyone
to.
else miss when trans women would actually put effort into looking like women? Because I know I do. You know, nowadays we have trans women walking around with full-on
What's
beards
wrong with
and a
that?
face full of makeup. And they have the nerve to complain when they get double takes when they go out, let alone when they enter the women's bathroom like that. And a lot of the backlash they receive for entering female spaces when they do not look female, that ends up
That's how
coming
you
back
know it's
on real
bad.
trans women like
When you say
myself that
female, it's
actually
so
deal
degrading.
with gender dysphoria. I just have a hard time believing that someone that actually has dysphoria would want to see themselves alone at home with a beard, let alone walk outside and let everyone else see them like that. You know, trans women will do everything in their power to look like women because we feel like we're women in our heart and soul. That's the entire point of being trans. And, you know, don't get me wrong, this is America. If you want to have a beard and have a face full of makeup, that's cool. Do that. But don't call yourself a trans woman because you're not a trans woman. And especially don't enter the women's bathroom.
I feel like my short said everything I kind of wanted to say in that response. I'm just gonna re-say it here. You do not get to tell other trans people how they do and don't experience gender dysphoria. What you experience as gender dysphoria is so personal to you and how you experience gender and all of that kind of thing. It's not on you to be like, oh, trans women aren't putting effort into like passing anymore. First of all, you don't know every single trans woman's medical history, financial history, all of that stuff, or just reasons that they don't do certain things. Do you know how hard it is to shave every day? Do you know how hard it is to like put effort into your appearance when you feel shitty, when you're feeling gender dysphoria? Like, it can be crippling. So the fact that she's like, remember when trans women used to want to pass? That's also not the goal of every trans person to pass. Some people don't want that, and some people do. It genuinely depends on the person. And you literally cannot sit here and tell every single trans person that they experience being trans in the exact same way, because it's not true. Not every single cis woman experiences being a cis woman the exact same way. You're really gonna sit here and tell me that there are women, biological, who don't have PCOS, who don't have full faces of beards, and you're gonna tell me that's not a cis woman? That they shouldn't be able to go into the woman's bathroom either because they aren't putting effort into looking like a biological woman? Like, come on, that's so shitty. Like, the fact that, like, gender roles and norms and all of that stuff, it hurts cis people too, and people don't fucking realize it, and it pisses me off. I said it was gonna be nice here. I'm trying so hard. Like, I do genuinely feel bad that, like, she believes this stuff. Like, you can really tell that she, like, believes what she's saying, and she, not gonna lie, sounds kind of hurt. Like, when I hear her talk, especially with, like, the internalized homophobia that she was talking about in, like, the previous TikTok I reacted to, it's just so sad. To me, it's so sad. It's like, I understand what it's like to have that internalized homophobia, transphobia about yourself. Like, trust me, bitch. I got that. I feel like the trans community especially should know what inclusion is and being welcoming, and hearing other people in the trans community have these opinions just breaks my heart, because first of all, I know that there are people in the trans community who don't think I should be in the trans community, but whatever. You can't sit here and tell me every single trans person experiences it the same exact way, because not everyone, not even cis people, experience their gender in the same exact way. So, like, why would you try to force the amount of people that are on this planet, what is it, like 8 billion now, into all of these little boxes? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. But yeah, you do not need to be passable or trying to pass to be a trans woman, to be a trans person, to be a trans man. If that is your goal, God bless. You do you. But it should not be like the end all be all that I feel like is so prevalent in the trans community.
I'm tired of being told that it's toxic for me to want to pass as a woman in society, because you know what? Everyone's like, oh, it's all just coming down to beauty standards, and like, you shouldn't have to pass to feel beautiful. I totally agree with that. I totally support that message. I understand not everyone's going to be able to pass. I understand not everyone wants to pass. But like, for me personally, that's always been my goal, is to be able to be seen as a woman by everyone in society. I want to be able to go into social situations and no one will be able to tell that I'm transgender. You know, that is gender euphoria to me. And I'm tired of feeling bad when I say that, or feeling like I'm toxic for even perpetuating the idea that passing makes me extremely happy. Because it does. It genuinely does. And I feel like that I should have a right to feel that way. You know what I mean?
You have the right to feel that way. So, like, this is fine, right? I think this was before she got, like, super conservative and that kind of thing. You individually wanting to pass is completely and utterly fine. If that's what makes you euphoric, if that's what makes you feel comfortable, if being stealth is your ultimate goal, God bless. Like, you do you. If that's what you want, like, you can go all out to make that happen. However, you trying to say that the people who only want to pass, be stealth, have that kind of experience are the only true, valid trans people is disgusting, which is where she lost me. Because is it toxic for her to say, hey, I want to be able to pass, being stealth makes me euphoric, all of that? No, that's not toxic. What is toxic is when you try to force your ideals and what you think and how you experience things onto other people. Because, again, not everyone is going to experience that. Not everyone wants to experience that. Not everyone can pass. Literally, like she said, you can really tell, like, the pipeline that she went down. Because, like I said, I think this is one of, like, her earlier video, or before she got super conservative, of, like, yeah, I understand not everyone wants to pass, but, like, I want to. So that's literally fine. That's good. But if you're trying to make that the criteria for every single trans person, that's where it becomes toxic. That's when it's an issue. That's when people are going to be like, hey, you're kind of fucked. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Kelly. I have seen her all over. Well, it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but last year I saw her all over my For You page a lot, and just all of the stitches and stuff that people do to her. And I just figured, like, let's come at it from a little bit more of an understanding perspective, but also be like, hey, yo, this isn't the right way to think about this kind of stuff. She genuinely, to me, just sounds like she has a lot of internalized homophobia, transphobia, queer phobia that she hasn't, like, sorted through it all. And it's just really sad to me, personally. But let me know if you want to see me do more reactions to this kind of content. I don't really do hate videos on my channel, so I wouldn't classify this as like a hate video. Just seeing what other people of differing opinions have. I would never want to like spread hate. So let me know if this is something you want me to do regularly, or that kind of thing. But yeah, never a hate video. I'll never do a hate video on this channel. Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.